the 2010s, a decade with so many iconic cars like the Porsche 918 Spider, the McLaren P1, the Ferrari LaFerrari, the Ford GT, the Lamborghini Huracan, the Lamborghini Aventador, the Bugatti Chiron, and so many more. In today's video, I'm going to be racing with only cars from the 2010s in Forza Motorsport. The car I chose is the Porsche 918 Spider because I really like Porsches, and this car, despite being over a decade old, still doesn't look like it has aged much. Okay, so I'm going to be racing on Fujimi Kaido. We're going to be doing a full circuit reverse since this track, I really like doing Fujimi Kaido, and I've done a lot of the full circuit, just not in reverse. So I'm doing reverse, and it's partly cloudy. The only change I made is the cars can only be from 2010 to 2019. Okay, I can't wait to see how I do in this amazing car. I love so much about this car, like where the flames come out of the car. It just looks amazing. Oh, there's a fellow 918 Spider. Okay, here we go. The 918 Spider is the successor to the Porsche Carrera GT, which is also an iconic Porsche and had a beautiful sound. Oh, really want to slow down through here, especially I don't want to hit that Bugatti Chiron. A little scratch on that car costs more than most houses. And now we go to the outside of that Porsche 911 GT2 RS Forza Edition. Oh, I just clipped the side of the Porsche 911 GT3 RS as well as the wall there. And now we're losing some ground to those cars up ahead. And we get passed by the GT2 RS. And I'm really trying to be really clean, especially with the fellow Porsches, since I really don't want to crash any cars by the same manufacturer as me. I'm going to slow down through here as we try to be careful going around this Pagani Zonda. This is a car that also has scratches worth more than a lot of houses. And we get around the Zonda. And now we are chasing this Ferrari. And don't want to overshoot through this tunnel because hitting a wall at Fujimi Kaido is very costly, especially with all the corners. It could really mess you up for a following corner. So we're just following this Ferrari's tire marks. And I see a McLaren P1 up ahead. The P1, a car that, just like the 918 Spider, has not really aged since its invention, with its amazing taillights and its stylish looks. The P1 is definitely still looking very current and modern in 2025. And we are tracking down that P1. And this is actually a P1 GTR, which means that it is made more for racing, like what we are doing right now. And the GTR goes a bit up track. We're going to get to the inside here. We are now too wide for third place. And we make some contact with the GTR. And we have disadvantage. Oh, wow. That Subaru just did a really cheap move on that poor KTM X-Bow. Now the X-Bow is in fourth, and the P1 GTR is in second. And that Subaru, who did a very dirty move, is in the lead. That has to be a time penalty because that was such a cheap move. And it definitely costed a lot of ground for that poor KTM X-Bow, who was leading this race and is now running fourth. And we continue being too wide of the P1 GTR. The P1 GTR goes up track, and we made contact through that last corner. I'm going to be really careful through here, especially that KTM X-Bow already lost the lead on a very dirty move, and we do not want to continue the misfortune for that car. We're just going to try getting around that KTM X-Bow fairly, and we do. Back up to third place, and we got to not let this McLaren P1 GTR or that Subaru get out of track. We want to keep as close to those cars as possible, as I nearly go up into the wall through there. And it looks like the two cars ahead are starting to pull away. So I need to start running a bit better lanes, but I don't want to be over aggressive and hit the walls because, like I was saying earlier, that can definitely mess up your speed, your momentum, how your cornering goes. So I want to be careful, but you also don't want to be too slow. There's got to be a perfect balance between speed and handling when racing. And through here, I'm kind of not doing the best of it, as the P1 GTR is nearly out of sight now. and that Subaru that is in the lead due to a very aggressive... Oh, I just went up into the guardrail there. But yeah, a very aggressive, cheap move. Oh, I just went hard in the guardrail that time. And the KTM X-Bow is going to get around for 3rd place. And now we are tracking this KTM X-Bow down, trying to at least try getting 3rd place back. We've lost the top 2, and we do not want to lose this 3rd place car either. And right now, that KTM X-Bow is pulling away. So, like I said, I have not found the right balance between... Oh, I hit the wall there. Yeah, between speed and handling, because you need to do both, or else you'll either be too slow or you'll crash into every wall. Every time that I try to go a little overly aggressive, I hit the wall, and I hit the inner wall there, and like I said, that messed up my corner there. And now through here, I kind of go a bit wide, and we're losing that KTM X-Bow, who probably would be leading this race if not for that aggressive move by that Subaru that put the Subaru in lead, and I hit another guardrail. I am just hitting every single guardrail. And now I've got some cars behind me. Through here I'm going to go really fast, but I want to be very careful. Last time I did the reverse circuit, I didn't brake soon enough, and I rammed right into the rear bumper of a car up ahead. Oh, I want to be really careful. The KTM X-Bow, who's already had terrible luck in this race. But yeah, as I was saying, last time I did this full circuit, I didn't brake soon enough, and I totally rammed the back of a car ahead and got a huge time penalty, which was definitely deserved. And oh, I nearly clipped the guardrail there. I'm just trying to keep this KTM X-Bow near me, since I lost so much ground last time. And it looks like the X-Bow is pulling away, which isn't very surprising. This car had the speed to maintain a lead in this race, and just got crashed and fell back to 4th. And now we're both catching this McLaren P1 GTR. Right now I'm fading, but if those two cars start battling, I might be able to catch up. And it looks like I'm catching up to the X-Bow right now. And I'm going to run a really good lane there. Had to slow down, though. I don't want to wreck anyone, especially the KTM X-Bow, who's had a very unfortunate this race, especially with the contact with the Subaru, where the Subaru just shoved the X-Bow out of the way, causing that car to fall from the lead to 4th position. And the top 3 are right there, so if I get around 1, I could very well get around the other 2 as well, as all 3 of those cars are so close together right now. And I've still got some cars really close behind me, so Fujimi Kaido once more delivering incredible racing. This track is so much fun to race at. And oh wow, I just overshot that corner so much. I got lucky to not hit the wall there, and I didn't lose as much ground as I expected. And it looks like the X-Bow and the P1 GTR are too wide, so I can use that to try gaining ground as they take the preferred lanes from each other. And I am starting to catch up, but that Subaru in lead's also pulling away. So the faster that I get around those 2 cars, the faster I can try chasing down that Subaru. As they both go wide of the corner, I scraped the guardrail. That's how close to the wall I was driving. And I run into the rear bumper of this KTM X-Bow, run into the inside guardrail. But now we are up to 3rd. Oh, I just totally ran into the KTM X-Bow. That should be a time penalty. That was a really bad move by me. Okay, that was definitely deserved. So now the KTM X-Bow has been unfairly shoved out of the way twice in this race by me and by this Subaru up ahead. Now let's try catching this Subaru. And we're catching up there. Oh, I just hit the guardrail. That's going to hurt my line. And I just need to not make many more mistakes like that as I run wide through that corner. And I'm losing time to this Subaru. So I'm going to need to push this car a little bit more to the limits to try keeping up and try catching this Subaru that's in the lead, especially with how close we are to the end of the race. And I'm losing ground still to this Subaru. And, oh, it actually looks like I gained a little bit through there. Now I'm really catching up to the Subaru. Might actually have a chance to catch up once more and try battling for that win. I see the start-finish line, is near on the radar, and I am right here behind the Subaru. Can I find a way to get side by side? Oh, I just hit the guardrail. That is gonna hurt our chances of winning this race as that Subaru pulls away. And it looks like it's about the same gap as before I had that issue. However, there's only a couple corners left. There's most likely going to need to be a miracle to try winning this race. And I'm catching up to that Subaru, but it's not going to be enough. It looks like that Subaru's going to win. We're going to get second. And you've got to feel bad for that KTM X-Bow. What? First? Oh my goodness. The Subaru had a larger time penalty. This might just be the luckiest win I've ever had in Forza Motorsport. Usually, these time penalties do not go my way. What an insane ending. I did not think that I was going to win. But the Subaru's time penalty was larger than mine, and I was able to be close enough to get the win. That's the luckiest win I've ever had. Usually, when someone loses a spot because of a time penalty, usually I'm the one that's losing the spot. And you've got to feel bad for that KTM X-Bow, who probably would have won that race if not for the moves that both I and the Subaru made. And to lose to the two cars that made really cheap moves against you, that's got to really sting. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, good game and goodbye.